I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I am the number 5 and the first girl in the family. I was one of the privileged people who went to school. So when I completed my high school, that was the end, because then the university became very expensive and you have to make a tough choice who goes first. And the boys are a favorite because they will keep the name of the family. In my own case, I was quite lucky because I met my husband. Nobody forced me to marry him, but I met him, I liked him because he was open-minded person. He could see the importance of education. So I was lucky. That's why I got married straight away when I finished high school, because I would have so much opportunity. When I was doing my college, I was also working for human rights organization. I learned quite a lot about the right of women. In the Congo, the girls were very much oppressed. I saw the injustice. I had to do something. That time my country was under dictatorship. So if they tell you to jump, you have to just to jump. But I said no. Once I said no, because I had also support of my husband who said no, we were considered as enemy of state. So that was our problem, because a woman should not stand up and speak. And you're not able to tell that what the government is doing is wrong. And one day I was coming back home and one of my neighbors stopped me and said, listen, stop, don't go home. There is police around your house. But I knew my husband was there. I had to make a quick decision. Do I go back there to be with him or do I leave? Because I knew already what will happen to him. When they catch him or they get him, they were looking for me as well. So I decided to leave and just run away. I had my 2 girls with me and they were asking for their dad. I'm like, your dad will be fine. But deep down I was crying and praying that he's okay. So what I decided to do after that is to leave the country. And the nearest place to where I was living was in Zambia. So I had to cross the border. How do I get there with no money? It was really hard. We had to wait until the night time to cross that border illegally. I had to sell everything. My kid had a jumper, shoes, and my shoes. So in 1 minute, our life went from where we were to really nothing. By the time they take us to the camp, and gave you like 4 plates and a blanket and stuff and the cupboard where you're going to sleep on. You're asking yourself why it's happening to me. But it didn't matter to me, because all I did is pray. I had my faith with me and I was praying to God, please let my husband leave. When my husband, after being tortured and beaten to death, actually survived the whole deal. We couldn't even recognize him when he arrived in the camp. So if you were a refugee from Congo, political refugee, seeking asylum seeker in Zambia, straight away you'll be denied. When they told us to leave the country, and that day when I say to you, my world just come crashing down, I told my husband, let's go and pray. While we were praying, at the end of Mass, people invite us to have coffee. We didn't know we were sitting next to the Australian first secretary to the Australian High Commissioner. At the end of our conversation, she gave us a card. If you could come and meet me, you probably could put your application in to come to Australia. We fill in the form. Once we did that, she goes, don't worry, and this is the letter, take it to the UNHCR office. And that way they won't send you back home. So when we took that, it was fantastic. Everything changed for us. I made a promise to myself. I say, if God, you let me out of this situation, I'll dedicate my life to help people like me. God always listens to you when you cry and when you are in a very vulnerable position. It's because of that faith that today I'm here in Australia. I was praying every day. I knew that God will answer my prayer.